I'm going to take some of my gesso. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take it right out of the cover. And I'm just going to put just a little bit on here. Just a thin layer. Not covering absolutely everything, just kind of to pull everything together and add a little tooth to the areas, especially where I want to be painting and drawing in. I want to do a face somewhere over here. And probably, I don't know if I'm going to do another bird or what. I'm not sure what I'm doing over here yet. I might do a bird. I might do something. I'll do something. One way or another, it will be something. I think that's good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is plan out at least the general area where I want my face to be on this. So I'm just going to grab a pencil, and I love this eraser. It's just a Pentel. I call it my clicky eraser. I don't know what it's called. Pentel Click Eraser. No wonder I called it that. Anyways, that's what I use. So I'm doing my face from memory, just the way I do, kind of a whimsical face. You are welcome to do whatever you want. There's been some great tips in some of the other videos of how to draw faces, and I have never done a tutorial on how to draw a face, so I don't even know how to explain that. I mean, I'll try, but I think I want my face to be kind of centered, smaller than the one on my other one, but kind of centered over here. And I think it'll be front facing because that's easier and faster for me to draw. So I'm not going to use my butterfly wing that I was doing before. So I want her head kind of here. So I basically just make sort of an oval shape. What I'm doing with her yet, so let's focus for a minute on her face. So I mark everything very lightly. So all your, your nose, your mouth need to be centered somewhat. There we go. Centered sort of in the middle of your face. That's lopsided, but that's okay. Needs to be over this way just ever so slightly. Centering is really important if you want it to look like a face, if you want it to look right. Proportions are important. So the eyes generally go in the very center of your face, right? So lifting this because I want to make sure that I get it centered, okay? It's just about centered. There. I adjust my eyes sometimes. Sometimes I put them a little lower if I want a more childlike face. But generally right in the center is good. And then in the center of that, you've got your nose. In the center of the nose and the chin, you've got your mouth, right? Making the mouth just a little bit bigger. Nose right there. So this is going to be kind of a whimsical face. I like to do eyes bigger or smaller than normal. For her, I'm going to go bigger because this is kind of a small area. And going smaller makes it harder to paint. So I'm going to go bigger. So I want to make sure that there's almost an eye width in between. That might be actually a full eye. Yeah, that's a full eye width. Okay, and then edge will be right up against the edge of your face, which nobody's eyes go this far over to the edge of their face unless you have a really super narrow face. Hold on. Okay, no, yeah. I should have turned my phone on silent. That's okay. It's just my husband. Where am I? And then I like to do the tear duct part of your eye. For me personally, when I draw them, I like to do them lower than the center part of the eye and up. So kind of down and up, and then sort of back down and around. I don't know if that makes sense. That's really exaggerated, but. And I'm going to bring the center of the eye together. I mean the tear duct right there. In and up and around like this. I might adjust that later, but for now, it's pretty good. Let's see. Bring this one down to meet it. One bonus of having this paper is pretty well in the background. My lines on that are pretty straight. I can kind of use that as a guide. So this goes down to those words, and this goes down to those words. And bring it up. A little, not that far. That's not quite right. Okay. And then around. That's not right at all. I think this eye, I don't know, one eye always ends up being way wider than the other. That doesn't look right. Bring this up a little. Did you need something? Yes, that's fine. Do you have a question? Or you just want to see what I'm doing?
Mm-hmm. Are you talking in it?
Yep.
Good.
So your voice is currently on my video.
Hello.
That's Ian. Ian is my youngest. He is 11, almost 12. I have sent them to quietly do whatever it is they're doing. What are you doing?
I just finished my reading.
Good job. Okay. We homeschool, so they're kind of off finishing up their stuff for the day. It's Friday, so there's not a whole lot they have to do. Fridays are kind of easy days, which is nice. Those will look better once it's all drawn in. I mean, once it's painted. Okay, and I want her, let's see, I want her kind of looking off to the left a little bit. Kind of, whatever I have over here, I want her kind of gazing over there. So to do that, I want her eyes to be pretty much this, the irises of her eyes. Carrie had a big discussion about this last week. With which one's the iris and which one's the pupil. I thought that was pretty great. So, the iris, the colored part. I'm going to start over really close to the edge of her eye. I'm going to bring it down. And go right about there. Now I want to make sure that the side's going to be the same. So I'm going to space it the same from the edge, not from here, but from the edge of the white of her eye. About the same amount over, I think, will work. Okay, there, just like that. I'm not even taking my own advice, am I? Okay. I never do. Alright, there we go. And then bring that over, just about the same on this side too. So we're going to bring this down, not quite touching her bottom lid. Okay. And do the same for this side. I feel like this one's wider. That's why it looks weird, is that one's a little bit wider. This is fine. I mean, all this can be corrected once we get the paint on it too, so totally not a problem. Okay, that's good. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. And move down to, I'm going to erase this here because this messes me up once I get to this part. Okay, erase that there. I'm going to go down to her nose. I really like the nose I did on this one. So I want to try to replicate this on here because I love the way it came out. So we're going to go right where this line is. On the very edges, I made my line's about, I don't know, half an inch, quarter of an inch, third of an inch, something. On the edge of that, I'm going to come up ever so slightly, just like this. And then I'm going to wrap around for the insides of her nostrils, just a little bit here, and then make it rounded, almost like, I don't even know what shape that would be. Whatever that shape is, like a teardrop into the like towards the center. Let me check my time. Okay, good. Okay. Don't want to run out of battery power or anything. Just touch this up a little bit under here. So, bring that down just a little. Again, once this is painted, it's going to be slightly different. Okay. Now the outside of her nose, start here, and I'm going to take it out. This is like the center where that little divot is on the inside of your nose. I like to reinforce that part. Give it a good, like, hollow look, because it is. It's a divot where it pinches in, at least on my nose. I don't know about everybody's noses, but it does for mine. My mom used to call it cute little button nose. Okay. Just kind of round and like that. Almost like an upside down question mark. Like a not so exaggerated question mark. Do the same thing on the other side, trying to keep the spacing the same. Wrap it around. It's a little bigger, I think. That's okay. I'll adjust that later. Okay, so now, yeah, that's good. She's going to have shadows like around here. So sometimes I like to, when I'm drawing it, I like to mark in where the shadows are going to kind of be. So that I remember, because otherwise sometimes I forget to put in my shadows there, and then it looks weird. Okay. And then the mouth. So this is the center of the mouth. This line that I put here is going to be my center. I'm going to draw it out a little. I'm going to do this. I'm going to kind of bring it up slightly here and bring it out that way. Do the same thing on the other side. Bring it up slightly and out. Same distance on either side, just to show a slight part in her lips. And then I do a little, kind of like what's like up here, just slightly smaller. I'll loop this around here. Same on the other side. Bigger. There we go. Now for the top lip, I'm going to do the Cupid's bow here. Just slightly, very, very slight Cupid's bow. And then use that as a chance to put in the little divot under your nose. Right here. There we go. And rounded. I like doing the lips really full, usually. So I'm going to do that. Again, once I paint, I might adjust them slightly. For now, I like that. And then I want her bottom lip She looks really sassy. I think I want her to have a big bottom lip, like a pouty. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, right like that. I'm gonna do a shadow. So remember, because there's always shadow under your lip. And bring it up slightly. And for now, I'm gonna leave her lip like that, and maybe just a tiny bit here. And the rest of it we'll do with paint. So I'm liking that. All right, I'm gonna move this now. I'm really liking the way that face looks. Okay. Erase all my marks. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I'm gonna mark in where I want her eyebrows to be eventually. Just kind of there. Just kind of there. Sort of. Alright, now let's decide on her hair. I really like this coming down. I don't want to take too much away from that, but I do definitely want her to have hair. For sure. I'm going to erase part of the side of her face. Just for now. I think her hair is going to kind of come